What is up everyone? Mike aka Terry here with a new guide, this time for Lux. She's a very strong AP champ with incredible burst potential and amazing skill set, very few counters, and she has one of the funniest ultimates in the game. In my opinion, she is also a good pick for solo queue because of her ability to punish mistakes and bad positioning, and she can also quickly turn a fight into a 4v5. She is very difficult because she relies solely on skill shots. One skill shot missed can mean losing a fight, and it's also important to get a feel for positioning with her because she's very squishy. Alright, if these things don't bother you and you just want to make use of her amazing bowling in lane because she can just harass endlessly with her E, and you don't have a problem with learning skill shots and practicing them, Lux will be perfect for you. And she's just, like I said, very strong at the moment. So here's a quick run through of her abilities. Her passive is Elimination. Whenever Lux deals damage with a spell, her targets are marked for 6 seconds. Her next attack will explode the mark and deal damage. It's really cool in lane because you can just get more damage in with your auto attacks as soon as you hit someone with an ability. Well, it's an easy to use passive and I think it fits Lux. Her Q is Line Binding, and it's her main CC skill. On use, she sends out a fairly quick projectile, which binds up to 2 enemies in the line and deals damage. It's amazing for escaping ganks and catching people out of position, and just lining them up for your ultimate later on. W is Prismatic Wave. Lux sends out a shield in a line, which comes back again, shielding every ally hit, including herself. Well, it's a bit of utility. Some people think that that's enough to make her support. I think she fits the support role well, if played well. It all depends on her skill shots. And yeah, it's just a nice ability for surviving ganks sometimes and just winning 1v1s. So, it's okay. Her E is Loosened Singularity, your main damage spell. An AoE projectile which sticks to the ground, slows enemies in it, and detonates by activating the ability again, or automatically after 5 seconds. This is your main harass during laning phase. It's a very strong spell in general. It's just a skill shot like the other ones, so you just have to get used to the speed of the projectile and when to detonate it. Final Spark, or Finales Funkeln, is Lux's ultimate, and one of the coolest abilities in the game. On usage, you send out a long-range ray in the line, which deals incredible damage, triggers Lux passive, and refreshes the debuff. Yeah, just get used to the speed of the projectile and the range, and you'll be able to snipe people, steal blue buffs if you ward them, and I mean enemy blue buffs, of course, not your jungler's blue buffs. But it's just so much fun to burst down people. I'll talk about the combos later on, but it's just a great ability and it's just so much fun to use. For skilling abilities, you'll take R whenever possible, max E first, then Q, and then W. Let's get to the runes and masteries I use on Lux. For runes, my runes are as follows: Magic Pen Marks, Mana Regen per level or Health per level seals, AP per level or Magic Resistance Glyphs, and AP Quints. This is a fairly standard rune set for any mid laner. I tend to go with AP per level Glyphs because I like to be aggressive early on and harass the crap out of my enemy. But Magic Resistance is also fine if you want to play safe against, for example, Kassadin or Fizz. Normally I go for Mana Regen per level seals. Health per level is another option. Try it what you feel more comfortable with. I normally go for Mana Regen. I take armor seals in case they have an AD caster mid lane, but you know, just make another rune page for your mid laners with armor seals, so whenever you see someone pick AD mid laners in ranked, you have a counter for that. And AP Quints just fit Lux perfectly because you just get more damage and harass, and can make full use of her harassing potential. Masteries. Okay, I go for 2109 for the extra damage, Magic Pen, and Mana Regen in the utility tree. If you want to go more defensive and feel like you can manage your mana without the extra regeneration, go for 2190, but most of the time I go for 2109. Unless it's just a hard lane for me, for example Kassadin, which can be a bit of a problem, but I'll talk about the matchups later on. Okay, and the summary spells I use with her are Flash Ignite. I think this is pretty standard. Flash for escaping ganks, Ignite for securing kills. You know, it's just standard. TP is also fine with her, like some other mid laners. You can try it out if you like flash teleport on her. I don't really take teleport because I just don't have the right timing to get off good ganks. And that's why I just don't do that. And I just take ignite to get more kills in 1v1s in mid lane. Alright, items. My build goes as follows. I started with the either boots or free health and free health potions, a flask plus potions plus wards, or cloth armor and 5 health potions. Just on a side note, with the price increase of flask and the nerfs to elixir, I feel like we will start seeing more starts like 8 health potions and 5 mana potions, or I don't know, stuff like that. So you can go with that too, I guess, but I didn't try that out yet. And I'm not sure if we will start seeing that, but it's a possibility. If you're fighting against AD mid, like I said before, start with cloth armor and 5 health potions, just to counter that. Okay, the thing about AP casters is that there's a wide array of items for them, and I can't really make one straight path for you to use every game, every single one. But here goes the build that I use normally and most of the time. Before upgrading my boots, I get Chalice of Harmony, upgraded to Unholy Grey. It's a nice item overall, gives great stats, and yep, that's it. It's just a fine item on Lux, and will make you able to spam your E more in Q. Normally I get my Sork boots at this point and Russia Rabadon Staff Cap next. If I'm being focused a lot, I get Sony's Hourglass next, so I can get out of sticky situations and, you know, just switch the focus. I normally go for Void Staff if they have a lot of MR. If not, I'll get a Lich Bane to help out with my passive. Because, you know, the increased auto attacks plus the passive proc is, wow, just a lot of damage. But later on in team fights, you'll be more focused on using your spells than auto attacking with Lux, so you just have to figure out what works for you. Morellonomicon is a fun item on Lux because it decreases the cooldown of your ultimate even more. And it's a cool choice, I guess, but I think it falls off a bit late game, like really late game. Like it's 15 minutes plus or 60 minutes plus. I would just go for more damage than Morellonomicon. That's why I don't always get it. Linery's Torment is a fine choice too, in my opinion. I like the item, but it's not very cost efficient if you do the math. So I don't know. I mean, it's a cool item, Lux, and it works with her. Yeah. Just gotta figure out what works best for you. So like I said, this is a standard path. But there will be games in which you will have to adapt to the enemy team. Like always. You should do that. For example, if they have an AD mid lane, just rush zone, yes, of course, you get more armor, you counter them. Or if they have double AP, get an Abyssal Scepter to counter a part of the damage. Also, you can go for a completely different build if you don't feel like being squishy and get a round of Aegis first. It's your choice. That's the cool thing about AP mid laners, that there are so many items and there's such a big variety. You will generally go for the main items like Rabadon Staff Cap or, I don't know, Hourglass, but it just depends which order you buy them. And that's free for you to experiment with. That's the cool thing about League of Legends, I guess. Okay, so now that we've covered that stuff, let's get to tips and tricks in lane. During laning phase, harass with E. It has an amazing range and fairly good damage, especially if you're passive procced. Of course, focus on last hitting, save Q for escaping ganks, and wait for the level 6. During the footage here, you'll see me using the Q to just escape the ganks. I don't even have to flash. Just a good timed Q can get you out of any ganks most of the time. If not, just flash it. But most of the time Q should be fine. So just save it for ganks. Just always be ready. Okay, someone's coming here. I don't have a ward, or I have a ward, and I just want to get out of this. Just save your Q and only harass with E. If you feel safe to get a kill as soon as you get level 6, try to get your full combo on them. If you want to beat back, just use E plus R on the creep wave to push it to the enemy turret and recall. Like I said before, get used to your speed, to the speed of the projectiles of Lux, and just keep calm and really practice the normals before you start playing ranked with her. This is my only advice, like my biggest advice, to just really get used to the skill shots. She is skill shot dependent, and she can be juked easily. The Q has a fairly, well, it's a high speed, I guess. Her E, it has a great AoE range, and her ultimate just takes some time, the 2 seconds or 1 second of charging. So, just, yeah. I mean, you saw what happened in the clip, so that's really just, I don't know, failure. Okay, so your standard combo will be QER. Don't even use your W. Just kidding. Just catching someone with your Q and then following up with your 2 other spells, and seeing their health bar drop to 0 feels so effing amazing. And it's the main reason why she is so much fun to play. Just during late game, like in this clip, when you catch someone out of position, they're just going for the jungle, and suddenly boom, Lux comes out of nowhere, and you're dead. So that's really fun. Okay, her matchups. AD casters can be a bit frightening for Lux, because if they play well and see you blow your Q, which is your only real means of defense, they will just ult in you after level 6 because you're squishy, like Zed or Talon. So you just really gotta watch out for that and save your Q and don't miss it. For team fights, like in the foot and cheer, stay in the back, keep shielding your team, wait for the perfect time to use your ultimate when they are all lined up, and yeah, just stay back and spam your abilities. Also, just make use of her long range, because that's cool. Especially when they are grouped up, your E will just clean house. Okay, I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover for this guide, and I hope some tips were helpful for you and some advice was useful. If yes, then just give it the video a like, comment below what you would like to see later on, which guides, which champions, what I can improve with my guides, and just good luck playing Lux. She's a really cool champion and she's very strong at the moment. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.